man. Bellhop is creepy.
He is.
This is Lev Grossman for Time Magazine, and I recently checked out the new Ghostbusters video game in New York City.
There you go. You got him.
Wow.
The game is actually, it's intended to be the third movie. It's set 2 years after the second movie, so it's set in 1991, and you take on the role of an experimental equipment technician, which is kind of the new recruit to Ghostbusters, and you're the fifth Ghostbuster, basically.
Right. It's been 25 years, of course, since the first Ghostbusters came out, 20 years since Ghostbusters 2, and it took Atari a full 3 years to develop Ghostbusters the video game. It's basically traditional for video games based on movies to kind of suck, but this one they've really committed to, and the graphics look top-notch. The game was developed by a company called Terminal Reality. One of the reasons Sony picked them to make the game is they built a graphics engine from the ground up to make the game possible. What that means, essentially, is instead of using off-the-shelf software, they built a custom graphics engine. And what you see on the screen is that almost every object in the game is fully modeled in 3D, and you can shoot it, and it blows up. The level of detail in the game is really quite amazing. For example, if there's a book on a shelf or a vase on a table, you can be pretty sure that if you bump into it, it'll fall over and break into little pieces.
I'm a big fan of the level 6 bidimensional attractor.
I'm with you on that.
One of the things that's great about this game is that they have brought back the original cast. So, Egon sounds like Egon, and Ray sounds like Ray, and Venkman sounds like Venkman, because it's really Venkman, by which I mean Bill Murray. Dan Aykroyd himself, who played Ray in the movies, was on site to talk about the new game. I noticed the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is back in the game. I thought you killed that guy.
Well, we did. We evaporated him, but it seems he has the power to coalesce, and then as you'll see in the game, he can be split apart with effective use of the equipment and toasted in pieces. So, yes, they chose to bring him back. I mean, everybody loves Stay Puft, so. The gamers have taken the original story and they've really gone as far out to the technical limits of the hardware and the software, and they've taken it to the parameters that the video games are capable of today. And they were able to do so because we stayed out of their way. You know, we let them run with it, and they come up with great stuff. What they've achieved beautifully is the feeling that Manhattan, that New York is a personality. I think if you look at the first and second movies, they are definitive New York movies. And in the game, we see Manhattan, again, comes to life as almost a living character.
Aykroyd was involved in revising the script, which ran to over 300 pages of dialogue. To pull that off, Aykroyd had to summon up some of that old 1980s spirit. What was it like slipping back into that character?
Well, it was what I had to do. I had to restore the enthusiasm, the passion, the energy, and the youth. And it was a challenge. I had to watch both movies, 1 and 2, and then I had to get in there and I had to read that dialogue over and sort of look at what I was going to do and just relive that time and relive that moment and get back to that kind of enthusiasm and passion. I think we effectively all did that.
Aykroyd also sees Ghostbusters as bringing something very different to a video game market that's really focused on hyper-serious, hyper-violent games like Gears of War.
You see, this game has something that's been missing, I think, in video games. First of all, maybe the element of humor, and also the element that maybe we're dealing in a non-lethal world, that what we're doing is sending these entities back where they came from, evaporating them and sending them into the next dimension that they arrived in after they left this life. It's not strictly a projectile, it's more we're confining them. It's not, for want of a better word, a murder simulator. I think that that's going to appeal.
Ghostbusters the video game is out in June, when we'll see whether a dead franchise from the 1980s can really come back to life. This is Lev Grossman for Time Magazine, and remember, don't cross the streams.
There you go.